Welcome to Live at 5, your afternoon spiritual drive. This is a daily pause in traffic, in life, and in prayer. Drawing from spiritual wisdom, religious tradition, and personal experience, we reflect on the journey from who we were to who we continue to be. One step, one prayer, one afternoon at a time.
All right, welcome to Live at 5 for a Tuesday afternoon. Grateful everybody's here today. We are going to start off like we always do with the Hail Mary for the repose of the soul of our friend Anne Marie Escobar. And if you pray for someone else on a regular basis, please include them as well. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. What are we doing here? We're doing this. Hold on. Right here.
Hi, everybody. Cardinal Timothy Dolan here. I'm talking to you from New York, but like the rest of the country, dare I say even the rest of the world, I'm kind of looking forward to September 24th. You know what's going to happen on September 24th? Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen is going to be declared blessed, which is the step before canonization. Before, please God, he's declared a saint. It's going to take place on September 24th in St. Louis, my hometown. I'm kind of happy about that, okay? Because it's so close to Peoria, which is the home diocese of Fulton Sheen. And as the former Archbishop of New York, we're particularly proud of Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen, who spent most of his life here in his work for the missions and his work for preaching. Fulton J. Sheen, oh my Lord, what a model he is for all of us. He's one of our proudest boasts as American Catholics. We can certainly call him a confessor of the faith. We certainly rejoice in his magnificent preaching and teaching ability, his intellectual wattage. And I don't think, I might be guilty of a little exaggeration here. He's almost a doctor of the church in his ability to take the timeless truths of the faith and present them in an extraordinarily accessible, colorful, compelling way. He preached to the people of the United States, Catholics and not. He preached to the people of the world, particularly in his apostolate of furthering the foreign missions, the propagation of the faith. So I don't know about you, but September 24th is going to be a big day for me, a great day in the life of the Catholic Church of the United States, a big day in the life of the Church Universal. I'm going to be thrilled to be there, and I hope to be able to shake your hand when I am.
And I hope to be able to shake his hand because I'm going to be there, provided I get the airline tickets, of course. I mean, I talked about this a little bit, and I haven't really harped on it too much because there was some, I did talk about it last week, some a little bit of caution that this might not happen. Um, right, there was a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of waiting and wondering if it was really going to come together. And last Friday it did. So they okayed the postcard late. I need a I usually need 9:45. That gives me time to upload the file, and they approved it at like 10:30. So I emailed the people at the vendor and said, I know it's late, but if this can somehow get on Monday's batch, it can get to my mail house on Tuesday. And they said, we'll see what we can do. No promises. That's fine. That's all I'm asking for. And so Friday, I uploaded this postcard with all of our stuff. It arrived at the mail house today, and he told me this morning they're going to get as many out today as possible. So we have prayer cards, bookmarks, a portrait, and 4 banners. The one on the far right there is one of those banner stands. I think that's going to be the most popular because parishes can put those up and everybody that walks in. And those are just dummy pictures. Like this thing is so The guy had told me, and Father O'Grady said he didn't know anything about it, but that he's not blessed until they say the magic words at the Mass on the 24th. There's some words that are said during the Mass, and he said, so nobody can see that image until after those words are spoken. And so it's supposed to have like him with a halo. It's custom painted. And so whenever we get the final artwork, we have to sign a confidentiality agreement that we will not share it with anybody, that we will not disseminate it in any way. So that's why I have these images of Sheen. They're really pixelated out, and it says, for placement purposes only or something like that across his face. And then the language on there says, the final products will be printed using the image revealed at the beatification on September 24th. So when the mailing is done, there's more than 14,000 churches across the country, and another 175 directors of the Society of the Propagation of the Faith. He was I believe, the first American, national director of the Pontifical Mission Societies and the Society for the Propagation of the Faith. So I think that those are large organizations that I think could buy bulk, and then they put the prayer card into their mailings. But also the Diocese of Peoria is going to be huge. I think all of Chicago, but Peoria is going to be huge. New York is going to be huge, and Rochester, where he was bishop for a short time, it also could be huge. And I think nationally, everything kind of backfills into that. So that's started mailing today. It'll finish up tomorrow. People will start getting them by Friday. Thursday, I'm going to do an email blast to a little more than 2,000 of our previous customers. And then I'm trying to work with the communications guy for the Archdiocese to do something in story form, because we are the only people with prayer cards with the actual image used at the beatification. So that exclusivity makes this a pretty big deal. So I was kind of working on the background of the website today, and I got an email from one of the pastors. He gets a lot of stuff from us. Good guy. He emailed me, says, "Hey, are you doing anything for Sheen?" I said, "Funny you should mention that, Father Scott." And I sent him the postcard that I just showed you guys. I said I was actually working on the pricing. The site isn't live, but as soon as it is, I'll send you an email. So he's on our list, so he'll go out in the email blast. And so as I was thinking about it today, I'm like, this is no longer just an idea. And it's also not something that I have to keep quiet for fear of I guess after it. The only thing I can't do is show you guys the image until live at 5 on September 24th, because that'll be after 4 o'clock when the Mass is over. So a lot of that stuff I just told you is speculative. Like, we have no idea what's going to happen when we send these mailings out. We could get a handful of orders. We could get flooded. I think Peoria and the Mission Society are going to be our two biggest customers, but you heard Dolan talk about it. It's a national story. It's an international story. We have a I don't have it on my, I probably have it somewhere, but it's okay. Half-page ad going in their book that points people to our online store. So it's a big deal, so that's going to garner a lot of interest. But we're also doing the legwork to get the word out that we have these available, and that exclusivity is really what's going to set this one apart from all the others. Like this vendor that we use, they're out of New Jersey, and in the middle of a bundle, a case of Pope prayer cards that we did was these Pope prayer cards from another company. So, and I know other people will also do Sheen stuff, but they won't have that image. So as I'm thinking about it this afternoon, I'm sitting here trying to figure out what this all means. Like a lot of the work God asks us to do happens before anyone actually sees it, right? The phone call that nobody hears, the emails that I sent out, the setback, the waiting, the doors that kind of didn't open right away, the days when I had to like not say anything or do anything and just be waiting for them to do whatever they had to do. And that reminds me of planting seeds, right? Most of the work, most of the life of a plant happens long before anybody sees its fruit, right? The planting of the seeds, the soil. My dad used to get, every fall he would get cow manure, horse manure, or whatever from one of the farms, and he would spread it all over his garden, and the whole neighborhood smelled like rural Vermont, pretty wild, for 3 or 4 days. And he would put the lime on the soil on top of the manure, and over the course of the winter, the heat of the manure would dissipate, and he'd till all of that into the dirt. We saw the tomatoes in August, massive tomatoes. But the work happened long before anybody saw the finished results. And every time he planted was a risk, right? Because he had critters that would eat his plants, and it pissed him off. Or maybe something happened that year and a disease hit or whatever. And then one day, without warning, things happen to those plants. And before you know it, those plants were 6 feet tall. And the same thing is true with this. I mean, when I started 20 years ago with the private company called Parish Communications, we did $35,000 a year in annual sales. And now we're a lot more than that. A lot more than that. Thousands of percents higher. We'll do well more than 30,000 just in this program, and it doesn't count the residual stuff. So the planting of the seed of the garden is true in business, it's true in ministry, and it's true in faith. We plant, we water, and we trust. And then the growth in every instance always belongs to God. How do I know? I've seen him do it again and again and again. So we plant, we put the seeds in the ground, and then we wait, and then we watch. God love Brian and Christopher Harris and David Parker and Diane Mason, and of course the repose of the soul of Diane Young, and my cousin Laurie and her mother Betty, and my cousin Ruthie and her sister Lois, and my brother Hank. And for anybody else in your world, all your intentions, we ask the blessing. If you have any parent, if you're watching this on replay, same rules apply. Please comment, like it, and share it out. Otherwise, look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, live at 5. Till then, be amazing, or just be. God bless.